This is the Keller Chronicles, Cook with Your Heart. Stories, lessons, and flavors from Chef Duane Keller, a chef who has spent 5 decades cooking for presidents, royalty, and people just like you.
Welcome to the Keller Chronicles, where we have many, many stories about leading with your heart, cooking with your heart. I've got a very good friend, and he's with Rationale Ovens. Steve and I go back to 2000, where we blew up a restaurant in Alexandria called Potomac Landing. Steve and I worked together. We've always kept in touch. And Steve went out and joined Rationale, and now he has been with them for 20 years. He invited me out to Vegas one time, and we did a breakfast for 2,000 people and had one cook put it out. That is a remarkable story, and we can dive a little deeper into that. But I'd like to welcome Steve Snitkin, good friend and Rationale Product Development Director. You talk about innovation. This is where we're at right here. Welcome, Steve.
Duane, thank you for having me on your show, my friend. It's always a wonderful pleasure to see you. So, yeah, I'm coming from you live from Southern California. I happen to be here. You know, we switched some dates around. I'm glad I'm in the kitchen. So we've got some live action stuff happening behind me. I'm out here setting up for a presentation tomorrow. Like you said, man, it's amazing. We've known each other now for 23. I was talking to my wife, about 23, 24 years we've known each other. And it's absolutely amazing. We met when I was a Cisco food salesman. And I tell you what, Duane, you as a customer was awesome. You ran a really tight ship on your inventory, and it was the easiest order I've ever had to take each week. You know, we'd walk through the dry storage, we'd walk through the walk-ins, and boom, you had it tight. So thanks for having me on the show, my friend.
Great to have you here, Steve. You know, when you practice as long as I've been practicing, you get pretty good at it. So,
yeah. I always liked your analogy. You're just like, look, if I give you a full bottle of shampoo, you're going to use tons of it to wash your hair. If I shrink the bottle down and only give you so much, you're only going to take so much of just what you need. You know, it's always a wonderful analogy about how to manage that in your business. So it's silly, but it's true, right? Yeah.
It is true. Inventory level is very important to teaching your staff the value of food. You know, I always say if you got 20 cases of bacon in a hotel, the likelihood of cooks burning bacon is pretty high. But if you got 4 cases, they're going to look at that and say, well, I can't burn any bacon because I don't have any to burn. So.
Yes, exactly.
Last time we were talking, I was driving over a bridge in Baltimore, and that wasn't a very good day. You know, we got all these stories along the way. And, you know, thank you again for pushing me to get certified on Rationale ovens, because it's really paid off. We had 20 of them at Gaylord National when I opened that hotel. And I remember vividly my first day when we did the Delta T formula and we went to the grocery store and just grabbed a terrible piece of meat. I don't even know what it was, but the worst you could find. And we didn't even season it. And we put it in and let it there overnight. And the next morning we came in and we all tried it. And it was delicious. It was amazing. So this is this was 2000, I think 2004. And I was in a classroom with a bunch of high school cafeteria ladies, I believe, that ran the programs at the either college or high school level. So I got certified in 2004, and that's really paid off. It's amazing what you do. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on in LA.
So one thing about Rational, or at least what I do, I absolutely love my job. And the reason is because it's all about food science. You know, you just said it yourself. You took a piece of meat, didn't even season it. But if you handle it properly and cook it properly, my goodness, it could be amazing, right? So that's absolutely what I love doing. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up for an event actually for tomorrow where we're going to be showing, I work with very large corporations. So, I mean, you think of major grocers or major retailers or large convention center management companies and so forth. So what we're doing tomorrow is we're going to have a presentation, and we're here in the Southern California gas company where, I mean, right behind me, I've got the Rational iCombi Pro, but there's all different types of equipment here where people come and they test and they organize what they do here live. And it's like taking a free test drive, which is awesome. So I'm going to be showing the iHexagon tomorrow. And let me turn my camera just a little bit. Sorry about this, but I've got the icon right here. We have an iHexagon right here. And we also have another star of the show, which would be the iVario. The iVario is tilt skillet solutions, right? Any that's seared or soups, right? You want to cook a cream sauce and not have it burn on you. The iVario is perfect for it. So that's what we're going to be showing. And I get to do it every day. So after I get off the podcast, what do I get to do today? I get to go shopping. I get to organize. I get to do my prep. I just have the best job in the world. I hate to say, I love to say it actually. So that's what we're doing out here. Always on the road though, always doing something different. And we have sites like this all across America, to be honest with you. So
How has Rational grown since you joined?
wow. 20 years ago, I used to have to drive around. I was a local person in Virginia, Maryland, and DC. And I actually think you were certified in maybe 2008 because I started with them in 2006. So that's 20 years ago. And back then, I used to have to drive around and teach people what combi technology is. Combi technology is the ability to have dry heat and steam in the same cabinet. I always say it's like that turkey on Thanksgiving. What do you do to it? You put it in the oven, you pull it out, you baste it, you put it back in. You're trying to control the moisture, or you're trying to open the door a little bit to brown the skin at the end, right? So you're trying to extract moisture. Well, it does it all for you in the box. So, right? So I spent years just teaching people about combi technology. But Rational as a company, what we've done is we're actually in college curriculum now, you know, at the CIA and at Johnson & Wales, where they're teaching, it's a core value now. You have to know how a combi oven works. So fast forward now to now, I walk in and say, hey, I've got a combi oven. They say, well, which one? Right? Most of the time, I'd like this because we're over 50% of the combi ovens sold in America are Rational. So half the people are always just like, oh, you mean a combi oven like Rational? That's what they say now. It was not like that at all 20 years ago. People didn't even know who we were, what we did. I was taking people from regular convection ovens, fryers, skillets, griddles, and showing them how they could do it online or on, you know, vertically now, right? In a platform, in an oven capacity. Once I show you, you're never looking back. And you know that for yourself, Duane, right? I mean, once I showed you how go ahead. Sorry, I've got a car pushing through the kitchen. We've all heard one of those. What did Gallagher, the comedian, say? Why doesn't the car have 4 wheels when only 3 of them work, right? So, thank you. Anyways, I'm in a working kitchen, folks. We're moving and grooving here. But like I was saying, once you learn combination cooking, you're not going to do it any other way. It's pointless, right? Food has to be a science. And you and I, I'm sure, have talked about this. We don't sell T-shirts. We sell things that people eat, and it becomes them. And it's got to be nutritious. It's got to be, you know, it's got to be, if it's a steak, it's got to be cooked to perfection, right? If you want medium rare, you really want that. And I have the ability that I can do that again and again and again and again and again. So it's absolutely fantastic in this part of the game. So I remember when I first started in culinary, I thought I was going to grow up and buy my own restaurant and start my own company and things like that. But I am so happy that I'm on this end of the business, not that end. I get to cook and I get to go to 4 walls every day, but they're different every day. And it's amazing every day because I'm always learning something. The last time I was in this very facility, McDonald's was testing all their smoothie machines, right? Before they launched their big smoothie brand all across the country, the McCafe, shall we say, their coffees and smoothies. And I mean, just to be in environments where people are testing and doing their research, it's just absolutely amazing, to be able to see that. And when I was a chef, wanting to be a chef, I didn't even know this job existed. So I'm really happy that I've, fallen into it, per se. And you could also tell I'm not shy to talking. So sorry, Duane.
No, don't apologize for that. We all want to hear about how Rationale's helping the industry, because we took a big hit at COVID. We lost 100,000 plus restaurants and food service operations, and we lost staff. We lost, combi ovens. I've been working with them all my life, and that's 5 decades in the kitchen. But Rationale is the best. And I think at one point you had 70,000 recipes in a Rationale. Is that correct?
Well, it doesn't. I always laugh because if you get over 100, it's more marketing ploy than it is actually. I don't know customers that actually put that many recipes into their own unit. The one nice thing that we do have is all of our units are online. So they can be online wirelessly. And on our website where you manage your unit online, it's called Connected Cooking. And with Connected Cooking, we have thousands of recipes around the world. You can go there, you can click it and immediately send it to your unit and start cooking that item right there. So the resources that we have are absolutely amazing. Now, you had asked, what things have changed in the last 20 years? Well, in 2017, I had been on the chef line for Rationale, right? A phone number that you could call a customer, have questions, and we would be there to answer your call. And I got off the phone and I was just like, man, I really wish there was a place or something that I could give people that, that they could help themselves. I'm a person, if I want to learn how to do something, what do? I go to YouTube and I watch a video, and if a man can make it, I guess I can too, right? I've never shied to try. So what I ended up doing is that holiday, that Christmas, I took 200 hours and I made a video on every working button on the unit. So you have 150 2-minute videos, which is, and as we were raised, it was follow the bouncing ball. I have follow the bouncing arrow. This means this, and this means that, and this means this. And if you want to do this, we had about 26 videos of common items like rotisserie chickens and pizza and French fries, where I had a chef live doing it. But I took them all together and we launched the Rationale app that year in 2018 at NRA. We launched the app, so now you could have all the training right there in your pocket. What this did for our industry is phenomenal. And what I mean by phenomenal is that it made people more exploratory. They would try new things because now they knew that they had the resource to go out there and actually do it. Right? Before, they always had 101 questions. I don't want to touch too many buttons and break something. Now it's touch all the buttons. Here's exactly how it works. Here's exactly what we mean by this and that. Our terminology, being a worldwide company, didn't always come through. And so, like, we had a button for meat, blanched and simmered. Well, what does that really mean? But on the app, you would see blanched and simmered. It might be a sausage that you're going to steam off before you then take it to the grill, like a bratwurst, right? So it really just made our terminology and us way more comfortable for the end user. And that's really something I'm very proud to be a part of and was able to launch into America. And now it's worldwide. Rationale AG took it over. Now it's worldwide. You can go onto the app and you have the old self-cooking center, the new iCombi Pro, the classic model that we have, and also the iVario, all at the palm of your hand. You're in charge now. It's your kitchen again. So, I mean, that's been something that it's changed the industry, whether it's my company or anybody using a combi, just having resources like that. And I'm just so proud that that's what we provide, right? Because if I'm this unit here is a lot more expensive than buying a convection oven. So I better give you twice or 3 times or 4 times the resources, right? And we don't just sell it and say, thanks, good luck, have a nice day. we're with you for the life and longevity of the product.
Yeah, convection oven isn't very it's not really, I mean, you get some high quality convection ovens, but not like the airflow and a rationale. Talk about the airflow.
Well, the key to a convection oven, it's only as good as you are doing. It's only as good as you are, right? Because you have to watch it, you have to monitor it, you have to maybe turn the pan. Here, the airflow in an iCombi Pro or an iHexagon is absolutely, I mean, it knows when to switch the fan back and forth because it knows the hot spots in the cabinet. So now you can make 6 trays of croissants, front to back, side to side, top to bottom. They're all exactly the same color. And you do that by hitting a button called croissants. You don't do that by setting 375 degrees or X amount of humidity or whatever. So that's where it's really changed the industry.
Yeah, if you want precision, you want a rationale. That's as simple as I can.
The coolest thing though, the coolest thing is what I'm doing right now with Rational. So Rational, we're famous for our combi ovens. We're soon to be very famous with our iBario, the precision of searing and tilt skillet, less monitoring, more precise performance. But what I'm actually doing with Rational now is a year and a half ago, well, now almost 2 years now, we came out with the iHexagon. So we took all the wonderful information and technology we already had built into the iCombi Pro, and we added it into the iHexagon. Now, the iHexagon is a combi oven that also uses adaptive microwave. And it's not a microwave. You and I, we don't cook in a microwave. I mean, I might heat water if I had to in it, but that's about it. The thing about the adaptiveness of the microwave is a typical microwave runs at 100% microwave all the time. And if you say I want 50% power, it's just going to turn it on and off 50% of the time. But when it's on, it's blasting it with as much microwave as possible. Here, the unit can sense size of the product, size of the load, just like our combi to adjust heat and humidity. But now it also gives it the microwave that the product needs. It just doesn't blast it. So we could actually have 17% energized magnetron, but it's the whole cooking process or whatever part of the cooking process. So think of a pot pie. You might want more microwave in the beginning to get the filling really hot and get it cooking faster, but then it's going to soften at the end so I don't ruin the crust on top. Right? So it's now microwave is actually a friend of ours as a chef. I do shrimp and I'll hold them up. I'll do shrimp skewers and I'll hold them up and I'll be like, I'm going to do shrimp in a microwave. And you could see the chefs just cringe like, no, because we know what it's going to taste like. Not in the iHexagon. It's going to come out perfect. Nice snap on the outside, succulent in the middle. It's perfect every single time. I just love the world I live in when it comes to food these days. Everything else is crazy out there, but here, no, it's all good. We're just cooking,
It's all control. Yeah. And you're talking about
100%. Yeah.
Seafood. And
yes,
what am I known for?
Seafood.
Yeah.
Yes. No, seafood, it's great. I tell you what,
seafood is got a very, very small window of error, and that's why I've always enjoyed, and have kept to local sustainable seafood, in this country. It's not easy because there's limited supply, and it just gets about worse every year. But there's nothing like seafood.
Yes.
I'm rolling out a new menu, and one of the members had oyster casino. We're just doing baked oysters, three oysters, whatever the way we want to do it. And so we had oysters casino. The guy ended up ordering 4 orders for himself.
Oh my.
Yeah, he enjoyed.
So what do you make? What do you put in your casino? Are you doing the old school bacon breadcrumb? I mean, is that your casino that you're doing?
Yeah, make a compound butter, casino butter with lots of garlic and lemon and bell peppers and shallots, and roll that up and freeze it, and then we just take some good Virginia Blue Points and shuck them. Put a put a slice of the butter on there and some breadcrumbs and then a half a piece of bacon and bake them off in the rationale.
Yeah, I'm sure they're perfect.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I like though, that years ago I was so my career with Rational, I started off as a local salesman, then I became the corporate chef in North America. So I would be here, well, not Mexico, but the United States and Canada. And I was up in Canada and I went and I had one of the best steaks I've ever had in my life. And it was amazing. It was it was a New York strip and it was at the Ritz-Carlton in Toronto. And then we get a kitchen tour. And this guy's got 15 immersion circulators lined up on his back row. So that's why everything was just dialed in. All they were doing was searing the steaks. And that's when my brain clicked. And I said, why am I not focusing on precision? I went immediately bought the Poly Science immersion circulator. They were $700 back then, you know? So I bought one and I tested side by side with my combi. Can I get the same results, right, in the bag and all that? My goodness, my precision in cooking, especially with seafood, we were just talking about that. I'll butter poach lobster in a bag and then show up. And, you know, my daughter has a beach house. So I'll cook everything for the week and cook it, chill it. And then I show up down there. And yes, I do have a self-cooking center at the beach house. So I will show up and I'll finish all my stuff there. But precision is where it's at. I'm telling you, you know, yeah, I think it's absolutely awesome. But that's another thing that's really changed our business. And I know that you were talking to them earlier about COVID had changed our business, and it did quite a bit. And one thing is people are always shy. Oh, this iCombi Pro, now you don't need me, right? You know, it's like we're taking labor away. We're not taking labor away. We always say we give chefs back the time for the essentials. What's the essential? Did I cut that piece of meat right? Did I season it correctly? Did the sauce, I have time to make my sauce. I have time to plan for my guests that every person has the same exact results in their plate, right? And you could pretty much take a picture. So that's an amazing thing that we're able to do now, which I don't know that it took a lot of attention to get that precision years ago. And that's why we had kitchen brigades, right? You're in charge of this, you're in charge of that. And that beginning of this podcast, you talked about that. How did we feed 2,000 people with one cook? Well, we did it with precision. We did it with care. We did it with the right equipment. You know?
Rethermalization. Do you
Amazing.
see that much anymore? The rethermalization?
Well, I mean, I will say every good banquet you ever go to nowadays is finished. We call it finishing, but it's rethermalization essentially. People don't do it the old school way anymore. Because think about it. What would happen if we used some Markov steaks and we'd put them on a baker's rack on a seat tray? Then we'd put them in the cooler. Then when the time of service, we'd throw them back in the oven, right? Well, we remember all those drippings that would fall on the pan. Well, when you mark it in, say, at a combi oven, now it's seared the whole ways around. You don't get any weepage. All the moisture that dropped on the pan is now still in your steak. So everybody knows this, right? And they want to have that quality on their plate, so they don't do it any other way anymore. Or let's stop serving scrambled eggs because that's all we can handle for 1,000 people. Now we can do eggs Benedicts for 1,000 people, and every yolk runs perfectly, right? Having those tools and having the understanding on how to use the tools. So, yeah, the industry has totally changed, and I would say the last 20 years for me, it's changed. But I think in the last, say, 8 to 10 years, it's really made a big difference. The Food Network, especially. I mean, everybody around me now is a foodie, much more than I am. I say I'm not a foodie, I'm a cookie. And a cookie for me means that I like how the process of cooking is more so than, you know what I mean? Like I can see that piece of fish and be like, ooh, that skin is going to crunch like this when I do that to it. Does that translate? Yeah. Yeah. But I'm really into that. So.
Yeah. Your passion just comes out when you're talking about food, and you have an arsenal of equipment that is all about precision. And, you know, we served, well, we did 110 million a year in food and beverage out of 6 outlets, 6 restaurants. So we had 20 rationales.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing that without the rationales. We could have got it done, but we had some really, really fine operations there, and rationale really helped out. And that's not even talking about the banquet side, where we would do banquets up to 10,000 people. You know,
Yeah, with the big
what do you
cart
do
rack.
with, yeah, what would you do with just convection ovens? I mean, it's not easy. So any help helps, you know?
Yeah, well, my thing is convection ovens are only as good of a chef as you are. The an advanced piece of equipment like the iCombi Pro or something that you can program, you're going to get consistent results every single time. How many chefs jump up and down and say, "I told you to pull the prime ribs out at 127 or whatever their number is," and somebody forgets. Now you've got French dip for the next 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Because it's overcooked. Here, it's always going to be the same every single time, on and on and on, whether Joe's doing the cooking or Sally's doing the cooking. Whose settings are they? They cook exactly like the chef, the sous chef in a box. So can you replace jobs and streamline your kitchen? Absolutely. That's not what it's about. It's giving you the time to decide, do I want to focus more on my sauce, and do I want to, you know what I mean, have my other stuff that's not being babysat per se. Those are the things that really make the difference, right? It's all about the details. I work for a German company, and they always, Germans, I think, are famous for saying that the devil's in the details, right? So the more the more I let you relax and actually know and have confidence that my protein's going to be right and my starch is going to be right, I can focus on the details of the plate and the experience my customer's going to have. Well more than, oh, I'm in the weeds. I hate when chefs say they're in the weeds because they wear it like a badge of honor. You're in the weeds because you're not organized.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The weeds is
right.
great when everybody's happy. But the weeds is not great when you're actually complaining that you're in it because you're not prepared enough for it. And that's where advanced pieces of equipment, it just changes your life. Right now, I could run to the store. I could do a banquet for 300 this afternoon if I needed to, just with these 3 pieces of equipment right here in front of me. And it would be the highest quality gourmet food. So one other thing, though, that's really been just fun for me over the last 20 years is I've been to all 50 states, 49 of them with rationale. And I was doing chain customers. There are no chain customers in Maine. So I had to fly myself there and get a lobster roll to clear them all out. But I've been all over the country. So I've cooked at the White House. I've cooked at the Pentagon. I've cooked on a battleship and been in a submarine. I've been at the Waldorf Astoria in New York and had a tour of the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I can just go on and on about these amazing places, seeing the amazing food people do, and all the wonderful conversations. And it's all possible because we're all talking about the same thing. How do we make great food for good people and do it consistently?
So the best story I have is this breakfast for 2000, where we flew into Vegas and we plated up all the breakfast. It had 7 different elements of texture and cooking and poached egg, and so many different variables could go wrong. And then we all went out to the bar and had some drinks. I had a great time. And then in the morning when we came in, typically in a big hotel, you fire up all the equipment and you got a staff of 30 running around, trying to put it together. We walk into the
You're
kitchen.
calling the room service. You're calling everybody, the manager, the assistant GM, everybody line up. We've got a plate up. Not anymore.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Sorry.
So we go ahead and just roll these carts into the big rationale and re-thermalize 2,000 plates, put the special cover on them and roll them down to the banquet room and serve. Now, I like giving the front of the house lots of confidence, and they always do. They enjoy serving what we're doing, but you got to be a little skeptical when you're doing 2,000 meals with one cook, and I was,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
everything was terrific, and everybody enjoyed it. So what is your story that beats that one? Because that was a long time ago.
I've got a great story for it. I was at a trade show and I had a client walk up to me at a trade show and he goes, I think I have one of your ovens at my place and I have all these accessories and don't know what to do with them. And I said, all right, who are you? And it was a church that could do banquets for, say, 2,500 people, right? So and he had 4 units, he had a roll-in blast chiller, he had all this stuff, but he did not realize anything about finishing. So I called him and I said, all right, can I come see you Tuesday? Nope, too busy. Can I come see you next Wednesday? Nope, too busy. And this went on for 2 weeks. I'm begging the guy, I'm telling you, I'm here to help, but you have no time. So finally, I said, look, me and another guy, we're going to come and we're going to work free labor for you to do these banquets. And he had like 3 parties of 300 each, somewhere around there. So we go there and we do the events, blow his mind. Everything went off without a hitch. A week later, he calls me and he says, I'd love to be one of your trainers. And I said, well, how's that possible? You never have any time. And he says, after what you taught me, I got all the time in the world, man. He goes, my life has changed. And he became one of my trainers. He'd have his banquets for Friday done on Thursday morning. You know what I mean? Already racked up, ready to go, in the cooler, bagged up, rock and roll. So to me, I didn't just change the customer's experience, I changed his world completely, opened his eyeballs up. So, but it's true finishing. Now, everybody thinks back in the day when you would go to customers and be like, you want to cook it, chill it. They're like, oh, that's leftovers. Once you see it and realize that, no, this is how food should be served, and get the leftovers out of your brain and learn the science of finishing. Because some people say, yeah, you just cook it, chill it, and reheat it. That's not really the case. Like a protein, you don't want to lay on a plate flat. You kind of want to prop it a little bit. Because if I laid a steak flat on a plate and put it back in anybody's Tommy oven and finished it and brought it back up to temp, well, the plate's going to be really hot. So you're going to get that gray at the bottom of the steak, and then it'll be that medium or medium rare. But if you prop it, it's going to be medium rare top to bottom. Or I could do rice if I'm doing like a 4-ounce piece of protein because the finishing time is only 6 minutes. But if you try doing rice with an 8-ounce steak that takes 10 minutes, we know what the rice is going to be, no matter what you do. So it's a little bit of an art. Well, once you figure it out and you write your menus based around it, my goodness, it's a life changer. It's an absolute life changer.
Staging, right?
Yes.
You're just talking about staging, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But just having that control over our food anymore is just that's absolutely wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling as this, your confidence is higher, because you know that you're prepared. Think about all the times where, so I did another event where I was down in Norfolk at a hotel and I was showing them finishing. And I had made, the joke, or I said, well, finishing's great because what if you count your potatoes and somebody drops the pan? And they're like, yeah, that doesn't happen often. It happened 15 minutes from that very statement. Somebody dropped the counted potatoes. But the nice thing is we were able to react because the banquet wasn't until tomorrow. Right? But imagine if I was trying to do that a la minute. Now everybody gets 2 potatoes, not 3, right? You'd have been stealing off the other plates. I mean, it's just the whole technology with our industry is second to none.
I always say it's kind of like standing on a ball. You always want to be on top of that ball so that and the combination of mise en place and being ready for anything, you're ready. But if you're not ready, you're always struggling. It's harder to work to get back on top of the ball. What are some new segments of business?
Well, let me tell you a little bit about Rational and the philosophy. So Rational was invented by Mr. Siegfried Meister. He's a German guy. And what he had done in Munich is he started a company that just built equipment, right? Fryers and griddles and grills and so on. Probably one of the first air fryers ever made. He actually designed that. And we've got our little Rational museum in Germany. But the cool thing about it is once he made the combination oven, once he realized that this was it, he dropped everything else. He said, I cannot give maximum customer benefit if I try making 12 different products, right? Just like somebody in the Olympics couldn't be an Olympic swimmer and an Olympic runner in the same Olympics because you've got to track, you got to work out so hard just to decrease your time like by seconds or fractions of a second. So I love the focus that we put into it. So when we do come out with something like the iCombi Pro, we came out with the iHexagon. We didn't take all of this and reinvent something new. We took all the wonderful things in this and just made it better, or gave it another avenue, right? Microwaves. Not everybody needs microwaves, but the ones that do, let's give it to you in the same quality that this gives you. The iVario is the same. So I mean, the iVario, imagine having a tilt skillet that if I set a steak on the platform, it knows that the energy is being pulled from that very spot. So as chefs, we know when I go to flip it, I'm not flipping it in the same spot because that's a cold spot. I need to find another hot spot. With the iVario, you could flip it in the same spot. It'll know, and you'll get the same exact sear on both sides. Right?
No crowding.
So, no, you can max it out and just flip right in the same spot. It has got all the energy and recognition to know how to, to know that what it needs to do. And that's what I was saying earlier. It'll hold cream sauces without ever breaking them or overboiling. I can make my demi-glace. I can reduce 50% faster, and never worry about scorching. I said, it's going to take that famous line from the Italian mothers of stand here and stir the gravy. You don't have to worry about that. The iVario is not going to scorch. It'll be just fine, So it's really, really amazing pieces of equipment. So sorry if I got off topic a little bit, but one thing I find that I really enjoy working for Rational specifically because of that logic and that theory of let's focus on a few things and do them as best we possibly can. Now, the few things we do have do 1,000 things, and they do those 1,000 things very precise, very accurate, and very easy from our standpoint.
Yeah, the tilt skillet is maybe my favorite piece of equipment, and so you have the ultimate tilt skillet.
Yeah, the versatility around it is absolutely amazing, and it guides you through it. So if you wanted to make a soup, it would say, it will say, add your product, sear your product. Are you done searing? Yes. It will either automatically add liquid or indicate for you to add liquid because it has a water spout on the back if you were making like a stock, right? So you could brown your bones, add the water, would never even walk it away. Making pasta and things like that. Think about it, all the times we carried a hot pot of something over to the stove or tried to take it away hot. Now here in this, it fills itself up, it drains itself. You're walking away, it's safe. It's precise, it's clean. It's not, also you had said about ovens where you have to turn everything on in the morning. Not with Rational products. You turn them on when you use them, and when you're done, they turn on. So the building I'm actually in right now is a LEED certified building, meaning very energy efficient. They do Energy Star testing here, which I find really unique. Because the way they do Energy Star testing, my product or anybody's product, they load it full of potatoes because you need something dense. You need a full load to max out how much energy does this piece of equipment use, right? So down at the end of the line right here, there's all these boxes of potatoes because I know that they're going to be doing some testing here in the upcoming day or so. But it's really interesting. That's how you get your efficiencies. And all of our products, except like the iHexagon's not Energy Star, because there's no other comparable oven on the market. But all of our combis are Energy Star because we have comparables and we actually help set the standard for that.
Wow. We had the first gold lead certified restaurant in Virginia at Walker's Grill. Very small footprint. I guess we beat out Volkswagen. That's what they told me. But the
Volkswagen had the second lead certified building.
I guess so. But Walker's Grill was got a nice letter, and as a chef, we shouldn't have to worry about energy on a P&L, but the fact is you do a little bit. I mean, if you have waste, energy is waste. I like to be sustainable in every way. Turn the gas off if you're not using it. Turn the air conditioning in a kitchen. Have you ever heard of something like that?
I'm just amazed at how much air conditioning goes out of the hood in a kitchen. The little that does get into the kitchen, it gets sucked out immediately through the hood ventilation system. Yeah. Well, it's an important part of what we need to think about as chefs or operators nowadays, right? The efficiencies of things, like these, like I just said, they're only on when you're cooking, right? If I wanted to bake cookies right now, I'd come over to the unit, I'd hit the bakery products, and then I would select cookies, right? Right here, cookies. It's automatically now going to start preheating. And by the time I go and get the cookies, place them on the tray, the unit's ready to go. It's only 3-4 minutes. Now, 3 or 4 minutes of me standing here looking at it feels like a lifetime in a chef's world. But if you learn how to manage things, oh my goodness, then you're just like, you're telling the unit, hold on, I'm not ready yet, because it's actually working faster than we do.
Time is money.
Time is money, and waste is money. Our time in the kitchen. Think about all the times you'd have to go into the kitchen at 4:30 in the morning to be ready for that Sunday brunch or so forth. Imagine if you had your Sunday brunch stuff ready to go the night ahead of time and you're coming in and you're finishing. My goodness, let's quality of life all the way around. Quality for your customers because it's been addressed and and managed very properly and very professionally. But our lives, we're happier people because we actually can come in. We know we have a plan. We know everything's easily achievable in front of us. And we get to spend time smiling with our customers. So I went online and I watched one of your jokes. You got to tell the joke about the new restaurant that was open on the moon.
This joke never fails. Never fails. I'd say last 3 years at a club and the same people laugh every time, wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Yes.
It's I don't know if we can do this on a show. But yeah. Did you see the new restaurant they put on the moon?
No.
It's got great food but no atmosphere.
See, it makes me laugh.
That's just as clean as it gets.
Yes. But it's just, I just think it's funny. You know what I mean? I think it's an awesome icebreaker, especially because I saw you on a video greeting guests, right? Or talking about the menu that they either were having or have had. And it was a great icebreaker. I thought it's really funny. So, but think about it. The more I give you the ability to make everything perfect, the more time you have to visit with your clients, tell funny jokes, talk about stories, find out what's important to them, see what they like, see what they don't like, right?
What's the lead time if we order one of those?
Any of our units we stock in Chicago, so it depends on in America where you are, but typically 2 days. Our units are hand assembled in Germany. Even the name of the person who hand assembles it's on the side of each and every model. We treat our company as if it's a U.S. We stock the units here in the United States. We stock parts in the United States. So you'll never hear, oh, that can't be addressed because it's on a slow boat from Germany. That just doesn't operate in our world. Because my time is out there telling you how you can replace half your kitchen with one unit. So I better be able to fix it twice as fast, or at least address anything. If something were to go south, you know that you've got support here locally, no matter where you are in the United States.
Well, being a chef and this is the Keller Chronicles. I felt like we need to share that as a chef, if you've never had a rationale in your kitchen, you're missing out, because it really is an incredible piece of equipment and it will change your life for the better. I, what can I say? Thanks, Steve, for coming on and showing us around your kitchen in LA.
Yeah.
And safe travels back east. And talk to you soon when you get back. This is the Keller Chronicles, Cook with Your Heart. And if you're going to be cooking, you may as well do it with a rationale.
Sounds good to me. Thanks, Duane.
Thank you for being part of the Keller Chronicles, Cook with Your Heart. Join us in the Hospitality Nexus to keep the conversation going. And until next time, remember, every meal is a chance to share love, and every day is a chance to make a difference.